Hey everybody, William Wallace here. As you all know, I'm traveling around Louisiana trying to get some interviews with our elected officials to be able to help spotlight some of the great things that our elected officials do, try to connect people and the people who vote with our elected officials so everybody can be more informed of what's going on in our state and our local governments. And today, I'm bringing on somebody with a position that you often hear about, but not many people really know everything about it. And I'd like to get you to know the person that we're interviewing today, Kevin Centanni.
William,
Thank you very much for coming on today.
thank you for having me, William.
Justice of the Peace in Kenner.
No,
But,
not in Kenner.
I'm
I'm in Kenner, but it's not my full district.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about too, because it's funny how you're in Kenner, but you've got parts of not Kenner, but it's more Jefferson Parish.
Actually, with state constitutional positions that's domiciled in the parishes.
Okay.
So that we have 8 districts in Jefferson Parish, and my district includes Kenner, River Ridge, Harahan, and part of Metairie.
I love that. See, that's why I'm bringing you on, because you might think one way, but when you really start when you start finding out, it's not exactly the way you think it is. And by informing more people of these positions, you'll find out the resources that are available to you, not only with the positions but held by our elected officials, but within your own community, so we can make some things happen and positive solutions. Well, Kevin, tell us a little bit about your position, what exactly you do.
Well, as Justice of the Peace, we're elected position. Actually, with judicial positions, we fall in judicial canons like all the other judges. That's why they consider us as judges. And as a result of that, there's certain ethics we must follow. I'm not allowed to promote
Okay.
our office, to tell you the truth. By you coming here asking for information, I can grant that.
Yeah.
But for me to go out and buy time to
Right.
do that is not acceptable and ethical to do so. So I appreciate you being here.
Thank you
this
very
morning
much.
and giving us an opportunity to tell us we can tell y'all what we do and what services we do provide the public.
Helps the public out a whole lot.
Absolutely, and I take advantage of every opportunity to inform the public of what our services we provide.
So what exactly what is there a concise way of saying what you do exactly as a Justice of the Peace?
We are the first level state court for the state of Louisiana. First state court. We're a court of first resort, a people's court, if you will.
Yeah.
You don't need an attorney to file in this particular court. We're basically financed by service charges, by the clerk of court fees that we charge through the court cost system. So whoever uses our system, that's how we are compensated. That's how our bills are paid. That's how our clerks are paid, etc., as well as our constable's office is paid. There are 3 elements that make up our particular court system. There's the judge, which I represent, which I am, and then you have the constable, which represents the sheriff, who serves the documents and court documents for the court.
Okay.
And then we have a clerk of court as well too, that's appointed by me, that serves as the go-between between us.
So could I make the analogy that you're kind of like a triage for the court systems, kind of like
We're miniature court system. A miniature court system like anything else.
Yeah.
Any other court system, you have the judge, you have the clerk of court, and you have the sheriff.
So when I said triage, I meant like somebody who gets hurt in a car accident. They might go to a portion of the hospital before they get seen by the surgeons. They get seen by someone who's their first line of defense, so to speak.
Well, our particular court system itself is open to the public.
Yeah.
And you like I said, you don't need an attorney to file for it. But now, any decisions that are made here can be appealed. It's not really an appellate movement. It's really a trial de novo, which means if you lose your case here, you could take it to a higher court.
Gotcha.
And start your trial over again.
Okay.
So it gives you. We're supposed to be an expedient court.
I see.
Fast court. Our jurisdiction is only 5,000 or less.
Oh, wow.
So we have a very limited. It's a court of limited jurisdiction.
Okay.
So we can only hear cases valued at $5,000 or less.
$5,000. Okay.
Less. But that doesn't include court costs. Doesn't include attorney fees. Does not include judicial interest as well too.
So what kind of cases do you cover? What kind of things do you hear?
Any sort of cases. Well, first of all, besides civil matters, we hear landlord-tenant cases, eviction cases, which we have quite a few of those in East Jefferson in particular.
Right.
We have a lot of apartments, so non-payment of rent issues, and it helps the landlords take possession of the properties when, in fact, they have not received their rent, or if there are lease violations, or they just want return of premises owner wants possession of their property. They still have to prove their case, let
Right.
them come in, and there's a contract. We have to interpret the contract to make sure they violated that contract.
Now I'm sure you help people on the other side of the fence too that need the help with maybe.
Oh, we have to hear the case. Just because a landlord comes in here and says, I want them out, they got to prove their case.
Right.
If they improve their case, then I'm not going to issue, especially under summary judgment proceeding. Summary judgment is a fast proceeding. So it's not an ordinary proceeding where you give 10-day notice to vacate. I mean, 10 days file an answer, etc.
Right.
You know, it's a 3-day, a week process. But to get somebody in here, if in fact they violated the lease agreement or contract agreement in order to evict, but the landlord still must prove their case.
Any other kind of cases that people
That's the eviction case, of course. Besides, then of course the civil suits where people sue each other over various things. Now, such as I had a couple cases last night, you know, where a car was damaged by a business they were doing some work on a car, and the company damaged the vehicle and caused all kind of internal problems with the car. So these people are suing the company because there are damages to the vehicle that occurred. So, and now there are attorneys involved in that particular case. So I heard they had a pretrial conference on them last night, and that could last, you know, an hour or so. But that's just one aspect of it. So they have a right to come here, and they can get attorneys. Attorneys can also come, and I love working with attorneys. But attorneys help add a dimension to it that's real helpful to me in the court system in helping determine the case. But in most cases, a lot of lay people can come here and solve their problems, whether it be money is owed to other people, or you might have businesses that owe money.
Yeah.
We do a lot of those issue judgments. Now, we're not a collection agency. We have to actually hear the suits like any other court and issue judgments. And those judgments can go forward and be used to be collected on through garnishments.
They're legally binding.
They're legally binding. A judgment is good like any other judgment for up to 10 years and can be revived for another 10 years.
Something that you mentioned to me a little while ago that I wanted to tell everybody about is that you don't have to be an attorney to be a justice of the peace.
In this position, that's correct.
Or
you have to be elected, but you don't have to be an attorney to be in this position. In my particular case, I worked for Judge Christina about 6 years before he retired. I volunteered in the court, and I attended the training programs, which we're trained by the Attorney General's Office for the state of Louisiana. We go to the training program every year. And I learned from that system. Of course, I have some apartments myself, so I knew contractual law, and I'm a college graduate as well, too. But I actually ran against 2 attorneys and beat them. But it's a people's court. It's supposed to be a people's court. However, we still must follow the Code of Civil Procedure. Now, it's a little more lax from evidentiary techniques is concerned. You know, we're allowed to ask questions ourselves and et cetera, but it's a little more lax as it relates to other high courts. But we still try to give them an opportunity. That's why I pre-trial on my cases, so these people know what we're looking for before we actually have to go to trial here. You know?
Now, what I like about that, and I'd like to make a notice of to everybody who watches the video, is that, you know, that just shows that, you know, not only do you have to have knowledge of the law to have this position, but that you're a regular person. You know, so when someone comes in here, they don't have to feel intimidated that they're being somewhat, you know, judged by an attorney, that they are being judged, or, you know, by just a regular person who knows the law, and they can feel like they're a little bit more, you know, on level here with somebody.
We're social workers as well too. We deal with a lot of problems out there. People have issues, you know, criminal issues. We're also committing magistrates as well too. We sign off arrest warrants for the police departments. We don't hear the criminal cases, but we issue the arrest warrants for the local police departments. In my case, I have Ketter, I have Harahan, and I have Jefferson Parish in my district, the police departments that I fall under. But also the other social economic issues we deal with in referring people. You know, this mental health issue is a big issue.
Yeah, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you in a little bit. You know, what do you think is one of the most pressing issues here? And I think you had said earlier lack
of education, as well as mental health issues that we have in our community. You can't teach people, or they can't learn if they're not mentally capable of learning. We have to address this on a statewide level, and I speak to that always as I'm president of also the State of Louisiana Justice, Peace and Constables Association, which is about 750 elected officials throughout the state, and that's one of my big advocacies. I try to encourage and try to other court systems, and I think our system, our JP and Constable court system, can be utilized tremendously in that arena statewide. In trying to help people, because we are like community policing, community judging. Okay?
So this is not only a way for the community to have a more expedient trial, it also is a way to help our government be more efficient, because this gives people a way to get their cases seen a little bit quicker, and on a smaller expeditiously, and it saves our court costs. Now this is what I like that you had said earlier, is that was something we talked about earlier, rather, is that this is not a way to cut out attorneys or judges in other areas. This is just a way to assist them in assisting the public and making our whole system more effective, in such a way that, some cases that are smaller can be seen quicker.
A lot of people have no idea where they can go to receive services. I was on the board of Jefferson Parish Human Services Authority. I got on that board with the parish council, at my request put me on that board. They oversee mental wellness, developmental disabilities, and substance abuse for the parish, and which helped me in my office here as far as making referrals to that agency. People sometimes do not know where to go get the help, or how to go about implementing, seeking that help. So in this position, we also do a lot of that, directing people to the appropriate agencies to get the help and assistance they need, appropriate assistance.
Where are you from anyway?
Born and raised Kenner, fifth generation here in Kenner, South Kenner. My family's been in since about 1880.
Wow.
And so I have a tremendous amount of love and passion for this community and the people of this community, So it's a joy, and I'm privileged and honored to be in this position. And you need somebody strong in this position to go ahead and call it the way it is.
Right.
You cannot. It's not political. You can't make this job political. It's got to be specifically as it is.
To help the people.
Absolutely. Say, this is what it is, and what you have to go forward, get the help you need, and call it. If people are not paying their bills, hey, save for the rain. I preach it all the time. Save for the rainy day. When people have no idea what it's like when they come in, they can't pay the rent. I said, man, you should have 6 months rent bank at all times.
Right.
And when you tell it to them, they say, what are you kidding?
Exactly.
I said, I don't understand that.
Right.
I said, man, that would take the stress off you. How do I do that? Well, you're looking at a person who had 2 jobs, whatever it took, to make sure you had that comfort, and be able to, so that it helps you from a homogeneous standpoint. The home itself makes it whole, makes it more easy, because things happen.
Right.
And people living paycheck to paycheck, sooner or later, you're going to have problems paying rent. It's going to happen.
So not only do you offer some legal assistance, you also offer some counseling, sounds like.
And we cannot give legal advice.
Right.
We're not allowed by law to give legal advice, but we can explain to people what we're looking for in making our determination in cases.
So as you watch this video, share it with people, because this is not only a place where you can get the legal, the legal verdicts that you might need for yourself, but you can get some some basic counseling, not legal advice, but some good direction on where to go to help out, in a more expedient way. Plus, the fact is, as you get to know Judge Centanni, you'll find out that he's been in this community for his whole life and generations before that, and find out not only how good he is, but how much of a compassion he has for this community, and that he is just a regular person. So you said earlier that you think one of the biggest issues that we have here in our community is
mental wellness.
Mental wellness,
which includes substance abuse as well too.
Yeah.
For years you had people that was on drugs, illegal drugs, and they got on drugs because of a mental wellness issue. They self-medicate themselves. So at least they're treating those collectively now. At one time, we used to treat substance abuse separate from mental wellness, but now they're treating it all together from mental wellness, substance abuse, as well as physical health, all collectively, which makes sense.
As a community, what can we do? What do you think is a positive solution that we can do?
I think if we address the mental health education as well as substance abuse issues, we're going to save a lot of money in the back end. Okay, working with children from the very beginning, making parents accountable for their children.
Yeah,
we have to do that. Your child hits a ball, it breaks a window. You're held civilly responsible.
Exactly.
For it. Criminally, if that child commits a crime, you got to call that parent and call up and say if in fact that parent has been there for that child too, as well too. So rearing children is important too, and making sure that they get the proper education. And now, of course, in most cases, sometimes that doesn't happen.
Right.
It's just flukes and things happen. But we have to hold people accountable for all aspects of that. But mental wellness is I think is a big problem.
As a,
Stress today.
as a state, do you see any solutions as a state that we can do to help this issue?
I'm looking at a program right now that the Supreme Court has. It's an assisted outpatient treatment program that I think our court system could be tremendous help in implementing that. It's called assisted outpatient treatment. It's like a mental health court, but where we monitor people and throughout the state. I represent maybe 100,000 people in my district, but in most JPs and councils throughout the parish, throughout the state, they may represent 5,000-10,000 people. So they're in the trenches.
Right.
They have the intel. Okay, they know the people in their districts, if we will. So those people, we could be a tremendous asset to that type of system, incorporating us by bringing us into from a social standpoint. We're committing magistrates, so we can have people arrested and put in jail if they are a threat to the community,
right,
as well too. And we can also be constitutionally serve as deputy coroners at the discretion of your coroner to help have people committed if necessary. So we kind of at a position where we can do both if we had to. And also we work off of fees. Even though from a criminal standpoint we can't charge fees, but civilly that's how our office operates. Yeah. We have to go out and lease space. I lease space from Kenner.
Yeah.
And I work very closely with the city of Kenner, Mayor Zahn and the officials here to provide me with this space because I'm helpful to their community and being a part of here.
So you rent this space from them as a justice of the peace for Jefferson Parish, I guess. Right. And you can marry people.
Yes, well, that's the fun part of the job.
That's the fun part of the job.
Yeah. The other stuff gets very involved. The weddings is the fun.
Can you divorce people?
No divorces.
No divorces. Just get. You can only get them in trouble. You can't get them out of trouble.
Right.
That's a joke, by the way.
I get them in trouble, not out of trouble. Right. Exactly right.
As a way. So this is why I think that some of these videos and interviews are important because, as you noticed, Judge Centanni has brought out some things on a Supreme Court level. You thought about the solutions for mental health that are in there. These are things that are just things to look into, things that our community can be made aware of. And the more we're made aware of things going on that our elected officials are doing and things that are going on in the state, and in our community, the more we can all be involved to find those positive solutions and help promote them. We all improve that way. Judge Centanni, anything else you want to add in here?
Oh wow! I appreciate you coming. You're welcome to come back anytime.
Yeah.
My office is located here in Kenner, but I do service, like I said, the cities of Harahan, Kenner, River Ridge, and part of Metairie. We're open from 9 to 3 is my clerk of court hours, where you can take filings, etc. But I'm here 12 hours a day in and out. So and I work on Saturday and Sunday as well too, if necessary. So
I heard you here a lot.
My court system, I'll hear my civil cases at night because I make it more convenient for people working. So that's when I heard my civil cases. So the attorneys may not like it, but the lay people like it. So they don't have to miss work to come here for hear the cases. Yeah. So we stand prepared to hopefully help. There's filing forms you can file with instruction sheets. I encourage you to learn more about what we can do to help you and solve your issues, whether it be money issues, whether it be complaints against businesses or individuals. That's what we're here for. It's a civil suit process like any other court system, but on a small level.
I like that. This is the way to help the community. It's not taking the place of anybody else. It's not kicking anybody else out the system. It's being an assistant to the system, but most of all, an assistant to the people. And with Judge Centanni, you can get not only somebody who's born and raised in this community, been a part of it for a long time, who's a regular lay person, who's gonna know how to be on the level with somebody else who's just a citizen here. So look into it.
The biggest issue also is that we cannot have an ex parte communication. Most people don't realize that. They want to talk to me about their case one-on-one, and I can't do that.
I got you.
Both parties have to be present for me to do so. So my clerk acts as a buffer for me,
right? So
that I don't violate that judiciary ethics of ex parte communication.
Like I said, even though you are not an attorney, you still have to know the laws of an attorney, follow the laws of an attorney, follow the judicial laws, and then, like I said, and then when you're campaigning, you also have to follow the laws of a judge.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So
that's why they consider us judges.
Yeah. Judge Centanni, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, William. It's a great program, man. This is a wonderful idea you have here.
Thank you very much. Like I said, I want to get the word out. And if you'd like to share the word, You know, again, you probably watch this video on William Wallace for Louisiana Facebook page. Please share it. Let other people know about it. And you can also hear me on Tuesday nights on WGSO. And you can catch me on YouTube and, other places on Facebook here. I want to get the word out, find out about positive solutions for our community and our state. Spread the word, everybody, and have a great day. Thank you so much.